Hi there, friend. Welcome back. I am here with a little bit of an unboxing. This is probably going to be my last big stationery purchase for a while. But I just got these in the mail today and I wanted to show you what I got. So I ordered something from Esterbrook's website directly, and then I also made a Yoseka purchase. I'm pretty sure this is just like the extra goodies. But I will introduce myself while I take everything out of the packaging. My name is Reagan, also known as Aunt Martha on YouTube, here on YouTube. This channel is all about my hobby life, which really has entailed a lot of fountain pen inks, journaling, and stationery. I ordered 2 pens. So let's just get right to it. The first pen is from Yoseka. I have to say, I mentioned this in my other unboxing video. Sorry, I'm trying to do this away from the camera so that it's not so loud. Unsuccessful. But I love how they package their the items that you purchase. They package it like a gift so that when you get your shipment, when you get your package, you're like opening a present essentially. And I think that's just the cutest thing. So I got one ink sample, which is showing some real restraint from me because usually because of how inexpensive they are compared to everything else, I usually go a little crazy. This is Hachibuse green from Nagasawa. So we'll go ahead and sample that or swatch that. I'm not even prepared. I literally sat down and cut open my boxes and then immediately took my phone out because I did want to record this for all of you to see what I got. So I do have a spot on one of my pages here in my ink journal that I have left a little spot for so that we can swatch this new ink sample. I also got a cartridge, and if you can see, it is lamy. I'm not quite sure because I purchased a lamy fountain pen. I have had in the past, well, I still have them technically, I just don't use them very often. I have 2 of the Lamy Safari in the charcoal black. I have one in an extra fine nib and one in a fine nib, but they really just sit in my collection and they don't get much use. So I thought that I would give Lamy one more shot. Oh wow, this lid is, oh, I think it's because of the, I don't know. Anyway, this is a pretty cool packaging. This is pretty cool packaging. It is the let me get my order receipt. Again, I really apologize because I'm so unprepared for this video, but I just got so excited and the package came earlier in the day, but my sister's kids were over and they're so young, I didn't want them to want to try to test these pens out, and my niece is really into stationery with me and so I didn't want her to see this and think and want to try it out because these were not super inexpensive. Like, I would let her test out Kakuno or something like that. But okay, this is, wow, this already feels a lot nicer than the charcoal, the Lamy Safari. Lamy LX fountain pen in maroon. I don't think it's maroon because I think maroon has 2 O's. This is MARRON. If I remember, and I have the patience to try to figure out how to put letters on the screen, I may try to write the name of the pen here. I really just like the color of the pen body. I think it's just really, really elegant and sophisticated looking. And I got a medium nib, and the reasoning behind that was because I already had an extra fine and a fine nib, and I'm pretty sure you can swap them. Let me make sure, or let me pull them out, because I just have them right now. The extra nibs, I have them in here in this little ink sample vial. They look pretty similar to me. I don't know. Tell me in the comments, can I interchange these, the nibs from a Lamy LX with a Lamy Safari? If you know, please let me know in the comments. Oops. I better put these away before they disappear forever. I wasn't the biggest fan of the little triangle or kind of like this spot for your fingers, but I have since started holding my pens differently since I have started down this fountain pen journey. So I'm hopeful that I will it will be enjoyable for me. We'll see. I really like the top. Look at how nice that looks. Don't so much love that that's really not straight on. Then it's kind of crooked, but we'll see if I can fix that. I think I'll do a writing sample with both of these as well. So when you order from Yoseka, you usually get a little, a couple stickers and a little postcard, and oh, this is a feedback, like prompt to give your feedback to Yoseka. That's fun. I have never gotten one of those in there in my shipments before. And then I also got the 1.5 calligraphy nib, and this is labeled as a Lamy Joy nib, but I looked it up and I feel like you can swap these out as well. The Lamy Joy and the Lamy Safari and LX. I don't think I would have made such a big purchase if I didn't look that up and confirm that I can use the Lamy Safari and the calligraphy nib on this pen, but at this moment I can't recall. So there's my first order, and then I also ordered something directly from Esterbrook's website. I am so excited to try the journaler nib. This is, I don't have my hands on the Techo nib, but all of the other nibs that are custom grinds that Esterbrook partnered with a few nibmeisters across the country. I think they're all located in the United States, and they made custom nibs, and I don't know if these were already nibs that they had made before, or I'm really struggling here, or if they had kind of invented them for Esterbrook, or if they had been testing them out. I'm I'm not exactly sure the whole story. I will link the page that I found online that describes the kind of story behind the custom grinds, so that if you're interested, you can take a look and read the article. I got the amber. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Oh my goodness. This journaler nib was ground especially for you in Los Angeles, California by Gina Salarino. Custom Nib Studio. Cool. So exciting. When I saw this, I first saw this pen, and this is just where I think you can register your pen. I'm going to set this aside. I first saw the amber tortoise estie on Instagram. It was on their stories, and it was at some kind of pen show in Europe, I believe, somewhere. And I thought, oh my gosh, I love that estie. I can't believe I haven't seen anybody else with it in their collection, and I didn't know that it was going to be like a coming soon type thing, because this was like in January, I think. And I thought maybe this was like only getting sold at pen shows. And then I saw that it was getting released in late February, early March, I think. And at first I wasn't going to get this because I only saw on the Esterbrook website that they had the extra fine, medium, and broad, and maybe stub. But then they made another listing on their website with custom grind options. And at first when I looked at the listing, the journaler nib was sold out. It was just the scribe and the needlepoint, I think, that in the mini stub that were available. And I already had all three of those. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to pull the trigger. I'm just going to wait. If it is meant to be, it'll come available later. A couple weeks later, like maybe a week or two later, I was just randomly back on Esterbrook's website, and I noticed that I just for some reason clicked on the specialty nib options for the amber tortoise listing, and I saw that the journaler was back. Oh my gosh, I immediately purchased it because that was the only custom nib. I don't have any other custom nibs. I'm gonna start swatching this new ink, by the way, while I chat. These are some new inks that I got from Yoseka last week, so I'm just gonna swatch this Nagasawa ink right next to it. I don't even have a glass of water. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my jar of water. Let's go ahead and swatch this ink. I thought that I was gonna have to order directly from, or let me say this, I thought I was gonna have to send a pen to Gina to have her do a custom grind on in order to get my hands on a journaler nib. And I just feel so blessed that the funding was there and available for me to use in my budget. And I also was able to find the journaler nib available on the listing. I haven't checked since I ordered the pen, which, this is very juicy. I ordered the pen, I think last week on like Monday or Tuesday. So it honestly came pretty quickly. And I haven't checked the listing since, but every other website that sells stationery and that sells Esterbrook pens, and every listing on the Esterbrook website with specialty grinds, the journaler nib was always sold out. And I can understand why, because it's such a popular nib. And hopefully I will share everyone's love for it when I swatch it, or when I do a little writing sample. what else I want to mention? I am aware that this is a beautiful ink. I'm so glad I got this sample. Such a deep, rich green. I am aware that the oils on my hands can seep into the paper and affect the way the ink sits or, you know, gets absorbed by the paper. Most of the time, I really don't mind. I'm going to be putting up a video, hopefully within the next month or two, going over all of my ink and pen journals. And this one, I think I briefly discussed it in my planner lineup video. Each page is a different ink and pen pairing, and I'm just transcribing a Bible study that I'm going through and doing. And when I write in this journal, I do put a blotter paper down while I'm writing so that when I'm resting my hand on the page, the oils get seeped into the blotter paper and not the paper that I'm writing on, because I do know that can affect how your ink shows up on the page. Right now, I'm just so excited about these pens and this order that I'm not bothered by it that much. And this is just, for me, again, sorry, I'm reaching over here because I don't have all my tools out, my supplies out. For me, journaling, wow. Oh my goodness. That is such a beautiful ink. I might want to get a bottle of this eventually. For me, journaling and stationery and planning, at first it was very functional, and now it's become like a way that I get to relax and unwind and just kind of have an escape. Not that I really need an escape from my life, because I do feel like I know I'm very blessed, and I know that, especially with everything that you hear about going on in the world and everything in the news, I mean, I can't even open my Instagram feed without feeling like I immediately need to, you know, shut my phone off and just, like, you know, take some time in nature and go outside to relax, because you just get, I feel like I just get overwhelmed with everything going on, and sometimes it's hard for me to see a clear way that I can make an impact or do anything about what's going on. Okay, I'm currently looking for Robert Oster Cafe Crema, because I'm going to do a dip test with these pens. With everything going on in the world and just how much access we have, and, well, I guess I should say how much access the news and, like, constant updates about what's going on in the world has, how much access that has to us because of social media and because of, you know, us having like mini computers in our hands with our cell phones. I just lately, ooh, that is so smooth. Lately, this is just a wonderful way for me to unwind and be able to relax and spend some time just not having to worry about those big issues that seem so heavy. Sorry, I'm just taking a moment to appreciate this nib. It's very much, it's so much smoother than I thought it would be. Wow. It's so pretty. I just want to keep writing. Okay, I'll take a break. I am going to take this cartridge out because I probably won't use it. I got this cartridge converter so that I don't have to fill my pens with a blunt tip syringe. This actually writes really smooth too. I think I want to take off let me try the tape trick. With lamy nibs, you're supposed to be able to take a piece of Scotch tape and just tape it and then yank it off. Yep, it worked. Okay, I'm gonna get out we're gonna test these out together to see if it fits. It sure does. All right, so this is the nib that came on my Lamy Safari in charcoal. I'm gonna dip it again. This is a fine. Yeah, that's lovely. I do actually like that a lot. Where'd my tape go? All right, let's try out the extra fine. I will say, oops, getting a little splotchy here. I wish that the Lamy Safari was one of either my first or my second fountain pen. I wish I would have done more research about how to remove the feed from the grip section sooner, because that is one thing that stops me from using my Lamy Safaris, is that because I have inked and cleaned out and inked and cleaned out but have not removed the feed is stuck in there, and I find it really challenging to get all of the ink out and to thoroughly clean my pen without taking the nib off and also the feed out so that I can really get in there and clear out all the ink. Even the extra fine is pretty smooth. I think I just find that I would imagine this is what people are referring to when they say a pen or a nib has feedback. I don't know if you can hear that. Let's try up here. It almost sounds like a pencil on a paper. That may be a big part of the reason why I'm just not drawn to using my Lamy Safaris. They weren't, I did a pen collection video and I didn't even put them in my video because they've just been sitting in my case unused. So maybe this will help me to want to reach for them more. All right, let me see. Oh yes, this fits too. This was labeled on the website, on Yoseka's website. Let me pull back up my order real quick. This on this on Yoseka's website was called Lamy Joy, Joy calligraphy nib, 1.5 millimeter. I have a 1.1 stub from Twisby and it writes so smoothly. And this nib was only, oh, I don't know, maybe $14 or something. And I thought that would be so fun to just play with. Let me make sure I have this on all the way. Yeah, I think I do. Dip it in upside down too. Okay. Whoops. Big little burp there. Okay, this may not be compatible. Yep, we may not have compatibility here. That's strange. I feel like it's fit on there. I feel like that's fit on there very well. And I also feel like there's no gap between the feed and, oh, I wonder if it's because see how there is, see how there's a hole right above where it says EF? There's no hole here, so I wonder if there's no way for the ink to come from the feed to the nib. Maybe, but again, I'm such a baby. Oh, just needed a little moment to gather itself. Beautiful. I love this. This is going to be really fun. Let me get my Twisby. Again, so sorry for all of the dead time in the video. This is a 1.1 Twisby. Yeah, and this is just a little juicier. How fun. That was an oopsie. Yeah. This is going to be so fun. I can't wait to do some long form journaling with this journaler nib. And I'm actually really happy that I made this purchase now because I think this will get me to start using my Lamy Safaris again, which makes me happy. Because I didn't feel right trying to sell them because I couldn't get the feed out and properly clean them. So I just didn't feel right trying to sell it to someone else. I guess I could have mentioned that in the sale, or in the listing, but anyway, that's my unboxing for today. These are my new pens. I am really loving this journaler nib. Sorry, I'm just kind of writing nonsense now. All right, I think I'm going to head out here. I am so grateful that you joined me for this video. Let me know what your most recent purchase was and if you were happy with it, and if it was a brand that you had, I don't want to say written off, but if it was something that you thought, probably won't get another one of these, and then you tried it and you were like, oh, okay. I'd be interested to know what that brand is for you. But anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.